Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you guys about a video that I made some time ago. I want to give an update. So what we're talking about today is some of the worst financial advice ever. So now if you know me or if you have been subscribed for some time, then you understand that one of the things that I always tell people to do is to research and find the best options for them when it concerns investing, getting out of debt, making more money, etc. It's important for you to understand that there is no one size fits all. In everybody's situation, in everybody's life, their journey, their situations that are attached to whatever they're trying to, get or get from, everything is not always the same. So basically what happened is I was listening to one of the analysts on CNBC talk while I was doing some work, and they made mention about like, if someone came to the table with like, $500, $1,000, whatever, it didn't really matter if they invested in this, it didn't matter if they invested in that. And I absolutely hate when I hear people say that, because a lot of times it comes from this different perspective or this different point of view from someone who never had to really struggle, someone who doesn't really understand the struggle that people really go through. Some people have went through struggle, then there's another level of struggle. And sometimes when you're void of those struggles, or if you're void of those journeys, or maybe you've been through it, but now you've gotten to this place where money's not an option and you've forgotten where you come from, that you forget that not everybody's situation is the same. And to say something like $500 or $1,000 and things like that, investing in that into the market just doesn't really make any sense. It is absolutely wrong. See, now I'm not someone that's ever studied Dave Ramsey's methods of paying off debt and his Peace University and the baby steps and things like that. I've never studied that, so I don't really know those things to a T. I don't really know everything that entails to it. But what I can tell you is his method is not the method for everyone. Just like anybody else's method, whether it's paying off debt, the avalanche method or the snowball method and things like that. So for example, for me, like I just did a video about me and my wife and our debt-free journey and things that we've done, things that we do. Well, that equates to us because of our situation. We've never had any crazy debts where we just had this extremely high interest and we need to work on that first. We didn't have that. So we were able to pay off small bills first without it, necessarily like we're just losing money on the back end because we got some high interest debt credit card or whatever. We didn't have that situation. So for us, the snowball method is what they call it. That method of paying the smallest to the largest, it just worked for us because of our particular situation. So what you have to understand is, like, one of the things I always tell people to do, to have a reality check. Research, find out your situation, find out how much you're putting out every month, find out how much you're really bringing home, find out where you have those holes in your pocket where you may be putting out too much money. You create the system and the budget that works for you. So if you find something, whatever that may be, it could be Dave Ramsey's, it could be this person's, it could be that person, whatever it is, when you find it, then you're able to use it because it fits your situation. Like another thing people tell people to do is like, oh, you should just, invest after you pay off debt. And one of the things I always say is like, well, if people could just go ahead and get out of debt, then they would have been got out of debt. Some people, if you go by that method, some of you will never ever be able to invest. You'll never be able to work on wealth because you just don't make enough money to just pay off all your debt. And quite frankly, you would be paying off your debt for the rest of your life and never get a chance to like secure your future. And what happens is that actually happens to a lot of people, to where they're so busy trying to pay bills, they never think about, accumulating some type of wealth or doing something to build some type of wealth for them and their family, especially for their later years. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you having a mix of doing things. You can be paying off debt and investing some money at the same time. I mean, in a sense, we already do it. Like if you have a 401k and you're paying off your debt, I mean, you're still kind of investing and paying off debt, right? So what's the problem if you decide to say, well, you know what, instead of me paying this chunk off, I want to, make this investment because this investment is going to, bring me more money in the short run or the long run, whatever the case is. It's all dependent on you and your situation. And so don't ever think just because you don't make a certain amount of money that you can't be successful financially, because that's absolutely false. You can, no matter where you are. And what happens is people will listen to some of this financial advice that's out here that will make them feel as if they cannot succeed and that they're inadequate. One of my stories is about my mom, where my mom would always try to figure out how she could invest, and every time she would take the money that she had to try to see how she could get into some type of investment, she was always told that she didn't have enough money and that wasn't enough money to invest. You can't do nothing with that. You're gonna have to come to the table with this amount of money. Just a whole bunch of stuff that she was told that ultimately just kind of blocked her from ever being able to advance in making investments. So a lot of times with the way the financial information is slanted, it's slanted towards people who already have a lot of money. And a lot of times people never want to address the market of people who don't have a lot of money. Even on YouTube, addressing the market of people who really don't have a lot of money, it's not like the popular thing to do on YouTube. So that's why a lot of people don't address it. That's why a lot of people don't, come out and give a lot of strategies like that towards people who don't have a lot of money. Most of their information is catered to people who have money. Not everybody, but the majority. And that's just the nature of the industry and the conversation, versus understanding that people start from different levels and understanding that, maybe your family doesn't have $50,000 as a gift, for, at your wedding for you to put a down payment on your house. Maybe your family can't, bail you out of debt and give you $10,000 or give you some huge foundation to start on like some other people's families can. Maybe it's you're the person that's going to be the one to start a more successful financial journey for you and your family. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're that person and all you have is what you have. And you can take that and you can actually be able to succeed by creating a plan, by doing your research, finding out what you can do for yourself, creating those disciplines, creating those habits, being consistent. You can do it. Like I have a video on my channel where I talk about how $5 can change your life. And it seems so mundane. It seems like it's no way possible $5 can change your life, but that's the truth. I mean, you're listening to someone who started investing with just $30. Didn't really know a lot about investing, was learning at that time, but I got into the market and started investing with just $30. Not $10,000, not $50,000, $30. And now that was about 12 years ago. So simply what I'm saying to you is this: whatever your situation is, there's a plan that you can either create or there's a plan that you can find that will work for you. I don't care how broke or how behind you are right now. Bankruptcy could be something that you may need to look into. Consolidating your debt could be something you need to look into. I don't know what your situation is. Whatever your situation is, there is a way, there is a path that can take you from where you are, and it can take you to a place of having success so that you never have to struggle again. Your issue might be you need to make more money. Well, you might need to start a side hustle or start a business, or maybe you need to increase some skills so you can get better pay on your job, whatever it is. Everybody's situation isn't the same. You have to assess your situation. You have to learn and understand where you are, how much money that you have that you're able to pay towards bills, or how much money can you put towards investing, put towards savings, things like that. If you're looking to buy a house, well, you need to structure and figure out, well, what's the best path for you to go get a house. You have to do the research, and you have to understand that your journey is your journey. And you don't allow anybody to tell you, just because you don't have this, you don't have that, and this is not that, and whatever the case is, based off of what they think, don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't succeed and that whatever it is that you have, that you bring to the table is pointless, because it's not pointless. Because if you have $1, that $1 can lead to millions by you just understanding how to take that $1, whether it's invest it or save it, and start to create a habit, start to be disciplined around just those simple things of having a habit and being consistent. And after a while, the more you're learning and you're growing, you start to learn to put more aside. You start to look at things differently. If you get a tax refund, you start to look at your tax refund differently. Now your tax refund doesn't look like, oh, I get to get that new big TV screen, oh, I get to get some new shoes, some new clothes. No, it starts to look like, let me pay off some debt. Maybe let me invest this money. Maybe let me save this money. Things start to change in your mind, and you can do that with whatever you have in your hand. So all I'm saying is, no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, wherever you are right now, there is a way for you to still be successful from whatever it is that you have. Bring what you have to the table. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to change. It doesn't dictate, it doesn't mean that your life is going to always be the same. Just because some people think that you're going to need all this extra in order for you to succeed. No, you bring to the table what you have, and you work with that, and you build from that. Anyways, you guys subscribe, stick around, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.